thinking about this in a kind of post-Loper-Bright major questions doctrine world, I don't disagree with Nick that a lot of regulations are like the best interpretation of a statute or don't implicate the major questions doctrine. But we've lived in 4 decades now of agencies regulating against the backdrop of Chevron, where you go up to the agency head and the general counsel's office if you work in the agency, and all you had to show is that your approach was reasonable and within the realm of a statutory ambiguity. And after Loper-Bright, that's just not the case anymore. It has to be the best interpretation of the statute. And so unlike Nick, I think that implicates a lot of regulations that are aggressive or that aren't the most natural reading of a statute. And I do agree that if the only way to get rid of a regulation is through notice and comment rulemaking, that's not going to happen in 18 months, although a lot of work could be done to set the agenda. I mean, I imagine they're going to have reports and the like, and they're going to let the president know what OMB can do and OIR can do from there to kind of channel that through. But there's a far faster way of getting rid of regulations that are unlawful. And by here, I mean unlawful, inconsistent with Loper-Bright or the major questions doctrine. And that's to just not defend them in court. And I think that's going to be a tactic that it's used in every presidential administration at the end of a president when there's a transition. Interest groups will file lawsuits challenging regulations, and the new administration will then have the decision to make about whether they're going to defend that regulation, whether they're going to settle the case, or whether they're going to let a court decide that the regulation is unlawful.